We're going to start class 5 of ACI. It's good to see you. Come from many places. I know you're working hard. And, okay. First question on homework 5. And this is a tough question. What is samsara? What is samsara? Okay. By the way, you're trained at ACI, you're not going to say Samsara, okay? In the writing, it's Sam. In the pronunciation, it's Samsara, like French. You can speak French, just talk through your nose, okay? Samsara, Samsara, okay? All right? Samsara, S-A-N. It's M is illegal in Sanskrit before S. It's illegal in Sanskrit. Ahimsa is also wrong. It's not allowed in Sanskrit to put an M before an S. Okay, so just do it right. It's one of my Masha. It's a pet peeve of mine. Samsara sounds like some guy from Chicago or something. Okay. I like, and it took me many years, okay? It's 27 years since I wrote this course. And maybe last year I understood samsara. What is it in the kitchen? Where is the samsara in the kitchen? Yeah, so the two husbands in the kitchen story, which I think is going to be, Buddha has a heart sutra, I have 2 husbands in kitchen. Okay, I think mine's going to be almost as famous. So the woman yelled at her kids last week. She came home tonight. Her husband yelled at her before she said anything. And then the natural reaction is to yell back. They say, I didn't do anything. I'm not stupid, you're stupid. Okay? Then that actually plants a seed in her mind, which will open next week in the kids' room. The kids will be bad again. Then she'll yell at the kids. She'll plant a new seed. 1 week later, the husband will yell at her because the seed opened in the kitchen, right? And it's a cycle, you see. So don't think samsara is some painting of future life or past life, okay? In the Abhidharma, there's a Kechigme Tendo. Samsara by the minute. Samsara by the minute. You don't need to wait for 3 lifetimes to have a wheel of life, okay? You're doing it every few minutes, okay? You are creating cycles. In English, we say downward cycle. And we also say, in English, I don't know how it's in your language, okay? But we call self-perpetuating cycle. The cycle tends to cause itself to keep turning. So probably in your own country, you have some word like that. In Chinese, you have? It's a circle which keeps itself going. Like those old clocks where they just keep going. The pendulum clock. Okay? Circle which repeats itself. Okay? And it could be repeating 2 or 3 times in a day, in one day. That's samsara, okay? So you have little samsaras and you have big samsaras, okay? So I don't want to see a definition on the homework that, you die, you go to another place, something like that, okay? Let's be more cool. Let's get it right, okay? You are spinning samsaras every few minutes. You are turning samsaras every few minutes. You are starting cycles every few minutes, okay? How do you break it? Wait, in the kitchen, where does she break the cycle? Yeah, when in the moment that she decides not to yell, okay? Long jung, long do. Tenjin deljung luk tu dan lumi tun la topache. That's my trail. Okay, what's it mean?
It means the cycle goes forward, and it goes backwards. How to break the chain reaction.
Yeah, good. Okay, the chain reaction, like you don't understand the husband, then you yell. Okay? First two links, okay? That's called forward lung jung in Maitreya. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay? But be careful when you say reverse it, because what does it mean? Do you go 12, 11, 10, 9, 8? Yeah, good. You stop 1, and that stops 2, and that stops 3, and that stops 4. So when they say lung do, which means reverse it, don't think it's like reversing a car. You know, it's not that you go 12, 11, 10, 9, okay? It's that you go kill 1, kills 2, kill 2, kill 3, kill 3, kill 4. Okay, got it? You okay? I can see Jasmine thinking there's some problem with it. Ask me later. She's too smart. Okay, good student. Lon Den, high IQ. High Dharma IQ. Okay, so that's to me Samsara, okay? Samsara. By the way, it's the same root, sir, which means to flow, okay? As nisrana, which means renunciation, flow out, or prasarita, padotana, you know, spread your legs and, okay. Different, same root, okay. It means it tends to spread. Like in that pose, you spread your legs and you grab your feet, if you can. Good class today, Word. Thank you for class. I had a less terrible time. Okay, Andreas' classes. Man, but I felt stronger after 2 of those classes. I don't know, but I wouldn't do it every day. Okay. No, I don't want you to teach an easy class. Like, I'm not hinting. I want a tough class from you, but I want to complain about it. Because it's fun to complain. Okay. Second question on homework 5. Why is renunciation necessary to escape the cycle of life? And then the second question is, what's the relationship between the first principal path and the second principal path? Okay? And let's answer the first question first, okay? And it's always a metaphor. It's a certain metaphor which is used in Buddhism. Which is? Jail. Yeah, jail. If you don't realize you're in jail, you don't want to break out. If you don't realize you're in the prison, you won't want to get out. Okay, so there's a kind of you're in prison, man. Okay, if you don't know you're in prison, or you can't realize you're in prison, then you're not going to try to reach nirvana and Buddhahood. Okay, if you don't recognize the pain of this whole world, constant pain every minute of every living creature, from bugs to humans, you won't want to get out of it, okay? So a lot of people are just like, I don't know. There was a famous student of Milarepa, and his name is Gampopa, and he was a medical doctor. And that's the first book I ever studied, by the way, with Geshe, with a Geshe, was Gampopa's text. And Gampopa was married, and he was a doctor, and his wife died. And then he was like extremely sad. But he said, at least now I'm free to go, practice hard in a cave or something. This is Milarepa's thing, right? So her uncle came to visit him after she passed away, and he's like, I'm so sorry your wife died. And he says, sorry? Are you kidding? It's wonderful. And then the uncle took some dirt and threw it in his face. And it's a famous story. And of course it's not a wonderful thing, but he's just saying, now I have a chance. He recognized the suffering of life. And I think it's kind of like kids who grow up with money, kids who grow up with a lot of money. In my experience, in my long experience, many times it ruins them. They don't learn how to work. They don't know what it's like to work. They run out of money and then they don't know how to work, and they have trouble. I've seen it many times because I worked in the diamond business. Many of the kids were rich, and When my friend's son was married in Mumbai, they rented the Mumbai soccer stadium. They invited 60,000 people. They threw diamonds out the window on the way to the stadium. But those kids are unhappy, you see? Those kids never learn to work, and they have a weird life. And then when they run out of money, they have a very hard life. Why am I talking about that? If you're lucky, somebody will die close to you, or your country will be bombed, and you see what life really is while you're still young. And then you have time to do something about it, start a refugee project, something like that. Okay, understand? You're lucky to have some problems in your life, because life is problems. And if you don't know it, you won't learn what to do, okay? You won't have renunciation. So if you don't know you're in a jail, you don't want to get out, okay? We teach DCI, we're teaching people 5 goals: financial freedom, good partner, good health, peaceful mind, help the world. But really the first 3 or 4, you have to lose them. You know, it doesn't matter if you get money. It doesn't matter if you get a nice house. It doesn't matter if you marry somebody. You're going to lose everything, okay? That's what we tell them in the ACI Course. So ACI is more advanced than DCI. And the best teachers teach for ACI. Okay. No, ACI's scope is beyond this life, and DCI's scope is not, okay? So actually your scope is bigger, okay? All right. Then I was studying lower middle way with my teacher. There's a famous topic called Lam Top Tu. It's almost a circle. Guess it is a circle. And it's about the 5 paths, right? Give me a mantra. Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisattva. 5 paths. Yeah, all these CSP people know everything. Okay, so yeah. Then what's the first gate? Yeah, big problem in your life, disaster in your life. You know, for me, as you know, half my family died in 1 year. And you wake up. In English we say wake up call. You're like, oh wow, life is hard. There's something going on here, okay? Now, there's 3 tracks. There's actually 15 paths. 5, 5, and 5. Okay? So that's a lower middle way, okay? Because they say there's 3 degrees of emptiness. There's an easy emptiness, there's a medium emptiness, there's a difficult emptiness, okay? Difficult emptiness is for bodhisattvas. Then the other 2 tracks are for lower way people, okay? Who don't want to be bodhisattva, okay? And they actually see different kinds of emptiness according to lower middle way, which is not true according to the higher middle way. In the higher middle way, if you see emptiness directly, it's always the same emptiness that the Buddha is seeing right now, okay? And you don't see it any better than a Buddha does. Sorry, a Buddha doesn't see it any better than you do. A person who just saw emptiness for the first time directly is seeing 100% what a Buddha sees for those 20 minutes, okay? So don't think it's different, it's the same. There's no degrees. You either see it or you don't see it, okay? Why are we talking about that? The entry point for the highest 5 paths is not personal disaster. It's what? Bodhicitta. It's the desire to become enlightened, to help the universe. Okay, got it? Lower tracks, 5 paths. You enter the first path when you have a personal disaster, like your wife dies, okay? Then you get interested in religion, okay? But the highest track, it's not personal disaster anymore. You only get into the highest 5 paths. The beginning is you want to become a Buddha to help everybody. Bodhicitta. You get bodhicitta. Wish for enlightenment, okay? Therefore, it's not the same as... Bodhicitta is not the same as... Yeah, good. Direct perception emptiness, okay? It's possible to be a bodhisattva before you see emptiness directly, okay? So it's not true that all bodhisattvas saw emptiness directly, okay? The ones who started on the first path, second path, they are bodhisattva, but they didn't see emptiness directly. What's the second path in DCI? Yeah, Geshe drives you crazy, teach you the pen again. It's actually second path, okay? Second path, okay? Now, I remember, I didn't have a dictionary for 25 years. I had my lama. And so I would just ask him, what's this mean, you know? But to be honest, he wasn't dying to answer questions. And I had to bribe him all the time, constant process. I collect my questions. If I ask him, you know, some question, he says, shut up, you know, and don't bother me, you know. But then I make momo for him, which I'm going to do for Geshe Dotar. And if you make momo for your lama, he answers all your questions. And what you do is you hold the plate and you say, I have a question. And he's like, yeah, what's the question? And I said, you know, Rinpoche, in the lower 5 paths, first path you have to have a disaster, your mother has to die. But then in the third path, it's so different. You just have to want to become a Buddha. You see, it's so different, you know. Why is that? I said, why? He said, give me the momos. That's an easy question. Bodhicitta is a disaster for everybody. It's just the same disaster, but it's everybody's disaster. You see, you're not just thinking about your mother dying. You're thinking everybody's mother died. That's all. He said it's the same thing. It's just personal disaster times a zillion. You know, in this world, personal disaster times 7 billion. It's the same thing. Got it? Everyone's mother gonna die. Okay. So if you think like that, you entered the first path on the higher track, bodhisattva track. Got it? That's the relationship between the first principal path and the second principal path, and you have to put it on your homework. Okay? I'm bribing you. That's my momo for you. Okay. Now, something about lam rim. Okay, the word lam rim. It can refer to all the steps of the path. From the day your mother dies up till the day you become a Buddha. All the steps. It's called the lam rim. Okay, got it? But each step is also called lam rim. A lam rim. Okay? This is the lam rim, and it has a lam rims. Okay? So steps. A step, a step, a step, a step. And then the whole thing together is called steps. But the Tibetan is the same. The Tibetan is the same. And it's confusing when you're a translator. Which lam rim are you working on? You say, I'm working on 3 principal paths. No, which lam rim are you working on? Oh, I'm studying how to find a teacher. Okay? I'm like at the beginning. I'm studying how to find a teacher. Okay, got it? Why did I say that? 2 famous lam rims, meaning 2 famous steps, relate to renunciation. Okay, stop desire for this life. Okay, get you thinking about next life. Okay, they get you thinking bigger than this life. 2 of the lam rims, 2 of the steps are connected to. Say again. Nice. No. You got one of them. Say Chiwa, Mitapa. Chiwa, Mitapa. Which is a confusing Tibetan word, and it means impermanence in the form of death. Okay? So it's a difficult Tibetan. Impermanence in the form of death. But before that, Delnjor Nyeka. Delnjor Dunche Nyeka. I'm so lucky. Okay, leisure and fortune. We call leisure and fortune. I got all the chance I need to become a Buddha. I got a human body, I got a good mind, I got teachers, I got good translations, I got friends who want to go there too, Like, everything's set for me. I have everything I need, okay? Good chance. Call it good chance. Okay, so good chance and death are two meditations, 2 steps of the Lamrim that relate to stop thinking about this life, start thinking about next life, okay? In the Lamrim teachings, you're not a Buddhist. You're not practicing Buddhism until you're thinking about your next life. And that's very radical, okay? It means DCI, none of it is Buddhism. Okay, technically, okay, very interesting. You're not practicing Buddhism until your motivation touches on what's going to happen to you after you die. Okay, technically, in Buddhism. Until you start thinking about your next life and taking care of that trip that you have to make. Okay, like if you know you have to come to Diamond Mountain. We have a rule in DCI, nobody follows it, but it's one of those rules. Always pack 48 hours before you leave. Okay, yeah, they're laughing. Always pack 48 hours before you leave. Why? Because you're so stressed out after that. You gotta, somebody's gotta take care of the dog, you gotta clean out the refrigerator, there's 1,000 things you have to do. So, you have to go. The DCI schedule is published on the DCI website. People always asking me, Geshe, what's this DCI schedule? They won't give it to me. I asked Scott and Reed, they said, it's on the internet, it's on the website, duh. Look on the website, duh. Okay, we didn't put, Geshe, we didn't put your personal holidays, like Veronica's birthday. We didn't put that on. Okay, so there's a few days you can't see on the website, but the rest are there, okay? Don't whine to me. Okay, so what was I talking about? Yeah. So logically, if you're a Buddhist logician, which none of us are, you would pack 2 days before, because you know you have to go, and you know what you have to take, and you're not going to wear a suit at home anyway. Okay? Never ever. That was one of my Lama's favorite expressions. Never ever. So pack your suits. Get them in the suitcase. Do it, finish, okay? Get it ready. I get it all packed and I leave it open for my toothbrush. And, some clean underwear because I have to do the laundry because I didn't do it for 3 weeks. And, okay. So the whole suitcase is ready. Why am I talking about that? Yeah, get ready. Just get ready now. Take care of it now, okay? Take care of your next life now, okay? Then you don't have to worry. You get hit by a car, you're ready. You don't get hit by a car, you're ready. So take care of it now, okay? Do what you have to do to have a good death and go to the right place. What's the insurance policy suitcase you should pack before you die? Understand the pen clearly. Also with regard to yourself, okay? Not just pens. Hold up the pen with your arm sometimes. She keeps giving me pens. You must be running out. I started telling people in DCI audiences, if you understand the pen, people complain to me, especially a certain city in South Asia. It starts with sing and ends with pour, okay? And, okay, the guy was not from Singapore, I have to say. He was from Europe. But he bitterly complained to me, why you keep repeating this pen? You know we have to pay every time? We have to pay for the same thing every time? To him I said, you didn't understand it the first time, that's why I have to repeat it. Or the first 10 times. But nowadays I tell people the truth, which is, if you understand the pen well, your suitcase is packed. You don't have to worry about dying. You will come back to this crappy world. Okay, but at least you won't go to the hell, okay? And you won't be an animal. Impossible. Not physically possible, okay? If you understand Kongsheng emptiness, clearly, especially about your arm and the pen, these are the same. Then it's impossible to take a lower birth. That burns, if anger burns bad seeds, anger burns good seeds, pen burns bad seeds, okay? Pen burns the seeds that take you to a lower birth. Okay, got it? So that's a lamrim, right? I'm so lucky. I have a chance now, but chiwa mitapa, okay? And what's a real death meditation? Before we get to it, what's death meditation? What's a simple way to do death meditation every day? When you brush your teeth and you see this handsome guy in the mirror, it's not true for everybody, but that's me and John Brady. When you're brushing your teeth, just say, I'm going to die today. I'm going to die today. Okay? Because one day it will be true. Okay? So why not get ready? Pack your bag in the morning. I'm going to die today. Do I really want to waste time today? Or do I have some cool plans today? Do I have some fun Dharma plans for today? Of course you have to go to work. Of course you have to take care of your family. But while you're brushing your teeth, I'm going to die today. I'm going to pack my bag. I'm going to get things ready, okay? I'm going to think about the pen today. Or I'm going to reread ACI Course number 1. Make sure I got it straight. Like that Geshe who had the logic book on his chest in the hospital on the day he died, okay? Like, you should have your ACI teacher trainer manual on your lap. Your phone should be on your chest, okay? So that's a death meditation. That's a real death meditation. It's not like you sit down and your head falls apart and, It sounds very sexy, right? Very mysterious, very mystical, death meditation. Death meditation is toothbrush meditation. Okay? It's not more mystical than that. When you brush your teeth in the morning, say, I'm gonna die. And this stuff will come out, and that's a good sign. Okay? Alright, I'm gonna die. So those are the first 2 steps of the path that relate to not being attached to this life. Okay? Pack your bag, do the toothbrush meditation, and recognize you have a great chance. You have a great chance. And by the way, don't start tomorrow. Start today, okay? Because you may lose the chance. Like that lady who got cancer last week. She was totally healthy 2 weeks ago. She was normal. The whole family, she's totally normal. Did she feel like a little bit sick? Then they do an MRI. She got tumors everywhere. She died a few days ago. We don't know, right? It's kind of what Word said it in yoga class. We don't know what's going on in our body. Our own body, we don't know what's going on. So get ready now. Pack the bag now. You got to go. So do your pen. Learn your pen. Learn the pen well. Get ready. Get the bag packed, okay? Then if you get hit by a truck, you're like, no problem. My bag, your friends are all like, You're like, it's okay, my bag is packed. Get ready now, okay? I told you that, no one's going to do it, but at least I told you. Okay. And think about how lucky you are. Things are not going to get easier for your Buddhist practice next week, or next month, or next year. Forget it. Okay? I'm telling you from 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. I'm telling you from 66. You get busier every year, not less busy every year. Okay? You have more commitments every year. Okay? Not less commitments. Kids have kids. Kids have kids. Things pile up. Okay? Your life will be more complicated next year than this year unless you die. Okay, got it? So don't think you're going to have more time next year. Start your practice tomorrow. Do your practice tomorrow. Cut the time out for your meditation tomorrow, okay? You're lucky. You got everything. Don't tell people, my hair fell out in the middle. The girls don't look at me anymore. Don't whine about your life. You are so goddamn lucky. The people in this room, you are one person in 100 million. You really are, okay? Everybody has to die. Everybody has to pack their bags. In Arizona right now, you're the only 60 people who are hearing about how to pack your bag. Trust me, I believe that. Okay? Got it? Don't tell me, oh, I'm 5 pounds overweight, or, I can't find the perfect shoes that I've been looking for. I'm not so you are goddamn lucky, okay? You're here, all right? You are 1 in 100 million. You must be pretty cool. Or you're here by accident and no such thing in Buddhism, all right? If you're here, you are an extremely special person, and you should teach. Special people should teach, okay? So those are 2 lam rims to prevent you from being too attached to this life, okay? And that's what? Toothbrush meditation and God, right now everything's right. I'm healthy, my mind is clear. I got a pretty decent family life. Yeah, my country allows me to do things. Everything's cool. Let me get it done now. Let me pack my bag now. Okay? I'm really special. I'm really lucky. Okay? I'll tell you something cool about Tibetan medicine. So I translated for the 2 most famous Tibetan doctors for about 5 years. Whenever they came to the US, I translated for them. And I learned a lot. And this one doctor, Geshe Dundan, he said a most amazing thing. He said, you have these, what do you call it, doshas? And what's the other one? Gunas. You have these energies in your body. For example, heat, bile, wind, and what is it? Lung, phlegm. You have this hot power in your body, you have cool power in your body. For example, okay? So like the body is breathing to keep the body cool, okay? And it's competing with the circulation system. The lungs are competing with the heart. The lungs' job in Tibetan medicine, Chinese medicine, is to keep your body from getting too hot. And the purpose of the heart is to keep the body from getting too cold. So actually, in your body is 2 forces that are fighting with each other from the moment you are born. And health is an accident. In Ayurveda, health is an accident, okay? Health is like, did you ever throw a toothpick on the table and it stand up? And you're like, oh my God. Or your coin, you drop a coin and it lands on the side and it goes like this, it stays. That's health. That's to be healthy. It's unusual. It's abnormal. Sickness is normal. Human condition. Health is abnormal. Health is a coin that landed on the side and stayed there. Okay, I'll let go of the toothpick, okay? It didn't really happen. Coin can happen, right? So health is an accident. And sooner or later, if the cooling element gets stronger, you get pneumonia. If the heating element gets stronger, you have a heart attack. Sooner or later, one of them will get stronger, okay? They will fight. They'll punch it out and one will get stronger and you will die, okay? Why am I talking about that? You have a chance right now in your life. You got everything. You got good teaching, good solid teaching. You got really senior teachers, spent 40 years meditating, did the 3-year retreat, do their practice every day, understand emptiness. You got Diamond Mountain, you got everything, come on. Okay, and it won't last, okay? It's like a coin on the side, okay? It's gonna fall down, okay? Use it. I used to go borrow books from my teacher. He didn't like to loan books. He's like very cheap with his books, But I remember he gave me a book and he said, use it, don't lose it. I think that's the last word he ever said to me. He passed away after that. And I kept the book. But he said, use it, don't lose it. Okay? Human body. ACI courses, Diamond Mountain. Okay? Use it, don't Lucid. Okay. All right. Say Jigten. Chögye. Very, very, very famous in Buddhism. What is that? Yeah, you can say 8 worldly dharmas. Chö means dharmas, but in this case it means attitude. Perfect. 8 different attitudes. So these are called 8 worldly attitudes. They are famous in Buddhism. So you should know them. If you're an ACI teacher, you should know the 8 worldly attitudes. There's 8 worldly attitudes, okay? And we're going to go through them now, okay? And they come from Nagarjuna's Suharleka, letter to a friend. You can find them in there, okay? And we should study that sometime. We should go through it. There's a beautiful commentary by Tsongkapa's teacher, Rendawa, Sakya. Okay, here we go. Number 1, okay? Number 1 of what? 8 worldly attitudes, okay? Nyekur Jungna Ga. Okay, happy you got something. Okay, someone gives you a red envelope, and you're like, "Wow, I got a red envelope." You know, my teacher, I don't know what happened. A demon bought him a television. I really believe it was a demon, and actually, some weird thing happened, and I saw a demon in this person, and. He bought him a television, and he started watching baseball all the time, and like every day, you know. And I wasn't really sure he was watching the TV, because his mantras were going. And sometimes you would, he'd say, "Turn the TV off," and you'd say, "Rinpoche, they're about to say who killed the guy in the next 2 minutes." He said, "Turn the TV off." So I was never sure he was watching it. I thought maybe it was for me, to make me feel comfortable with this foreigner, you know. He watches American TV, he must be normal. You know what I mean? So anyway, so some guy would hit a home run, you know, he'd make a good play. And he'd go like this. They close up on the baseball player's face, and he's like, "Ah!" And Rinpoche said, "Worldly Dharma number 1. Right there. Right there." He's always teaching me. He said, "Oh, that's number 1. That's number 1. That right there." Okay? And it's always followed by, that at the end of the game, he drops the ball. Everyone hates him in the whole stadium. And he's like this. You know? And Rinpoche said, perfect number 1 and 2. Every baseball player, perfect number 1 and number 2. They do something good, they're like, ah. All the fans are also number 1 and number 2. "Oh, you're so great, you know. Then he messed up. Everyone's boo, boo. They throw things at him. And they throw beer bottles and stuff. They stopped serving beer in bottles at baseball games. So that's 1 and 2, okay? Something nice happens. You get something, like a new car. Somebody gives you a new car, and you're like, okay? Then next day you scratch it. Somebody in the parking lot, that's in America, they scratch your car and they run away. And you come out of the grocery store and there's a big scratch in your car. Then you're like this, whoa. Okay, those are 2 non-Buddhist attitudes, okay? Don't get too happy if something goes right, and don't get too sad. Okay, from 66, not from 71. I don't know about the 71 guys, but from 66 I can tell you something. Stuff's gonna mess up in your life sometimes. Don't take it too seriously, okay? Your problems are not the biggest problems in this room. Forget it. They're probably the smallest problems in this room, okay? The person next to you, they have cancer, their mother died yesterday. Come on. You have a scratch in your car, okay? So take it easy, okay? From 66, I'm telling you, right, Gyaltse? Diamond Mountain director, By the way, the Diamond Mountain director is going to be retiring to work harder in Sedona. And I'd like to give her a hand. And we're going to have a small party for her. And there's a big fool called Sunam who agreed to be the new director. We should give her a hand. Yeah. So we're very lucky. Anyway, don't get, from 66 I'm telling you, look, sometimes bad stuff happens, okay? Sometimes, we had bad stuff here. We had very serious bad stuff here. It happens in your life. Stuff happens, okay? Don't freak out. Don't give up your Buddhism. Don't get all sad, okay? This is the 8 worldly attitudes, you know? Stuff goes wrong, okay? Life doesn't go perfect. You have good seeds, you have bad seeds in your head already, okay? So don't get all serious, okay? Have fun. Go out and look at the scratch on your car and say, oh man, that's such a scratch, you know? And you have a choice, right? You always have a choice. You can be sad, you can be, here, number 2, you can do number 2. You can tell everybody for 3 days. Actually, nobody cares, okay? That's the other thing. Don't talk about your problems. Nobody cares. Oh, my car got scratched. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sorry. But not really. Don't you have anything else to talk about? Did anything nice happen today? Okay. By the way, your students, as an ACI teacher, to tell you the truth, they're not interested in your problems, okay? So don't waste their time and don't waste your time, okay? Funny thing happens to me when I go to teach in some countries. I don't know, 2,000-3,000 people will come, and 1,000 will line up for a signature, and I feel like they really like me, and I'm famous, and I feel pretty good. 3,000 people in the audience, you know. And they're all waiting for 2 hours to get their book signed, you know. And sometimes this very lovely lady will come up, and we always take a picture. They always sit next to me, you know, and we take a picture, you know. And I'm like, wow, all the most beautiful women in Taiwan want to sit next to Geshe Michael, you know. And they take the picture, and then I have a smile ready, and I go like this, and they're already walking away, you know. I'm like, you know, they just want the picture, okay? Your students don't really care about your personal life, okay? If Geshe Michael have a heart attack after the photo, it's okay. Okay? So don't get all this thing about, you know, you want to hear about my car got scratched, or you want to hear about this blue car my students gave me. As a teacher, they don't want to hear about you. They're there for themselves. They want you to help them. You see what I mean? They're not coming there to tell you how cool you are. They're coming there because they got cancer. Okay, I translated for Yeshe Dundan. About 100 people came to the talk. It was a normal audience just like this, you know. It was at Nancy Karen's house. Alice was in her arms. She's our accountant. Okay, she's probably 40 now. She has her own kid, right? So she was in Nancy's arms. This is how long ago I was translating. And the doctor finished the whole teaching. You know, it was very beautiful. And then he announced, and it was a normal room like this. He said, if anyone in this room has an extremely serious medical condition, come tomorrow to this address, and I will treat you for free. You know, very famous doctor, the most famous doctor in Tibet probably. And so I thought, okay, he said, can you translate? I said, well, you know, I got to go to work, but it's going to be early, right? He said, yeah, it'll be early, like 7 o'clock. I said, okay, I can do like, probably going to be 5-6 people, I can do it. Every person in the room showed up. I'd say 90% of these normal people had a serious medical condition, and they're just barely standing up. You see what I mean? But they look normal. Okay, so you go on the subway, you go on the airplane, you see an airplane full of normal people, half of them are very sick, okay? You just don't know. So don't, as a teacher, don't bore them with your problems. They don't really care, okay? And I don't mean they don't love you, they love you. But they have problems of their own, and they have serious problems. And the reason they came to you is to help them with their problems, not your problems, okay? So don't waste your time. Go whine to your teacher about your problems. Okay, that's cool, that's okay. That's what your teacher is for. And if they're a real teacher, when they make a commitment to you, it's not for one lifetime. You can whine for multiple lifetimes. Okay, got it? And they will not give you up. That's the last great quality of a teacher. Okay, so once you have a real teacher, you have a whineable, available whineable. Okay, but don't bother your students. They don't care. Okay, really, don't tell them all your problems and stuff like that. Okay, if you want to use your problems as an example, that's okay. I have jealousy. It's my second worst klesha. What's that joke about? Yeah, Geshe will always tell you the second worst one, but he's so embarrassed about the first worst one, he will never mention it. And that's the same with everybody in this room. Okay, the worst one you don't want to tell anybody because you're embarrassed. But my number two is jealousy. Okay, that you can say in the class. That's honest, right? I have a problem with jealousy. Okay, Geshe, we're so happy in Singapore. What? This teacher came. He's trained in a Buddhist monastery. He's a foreigner. He's very handsome also. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. Okay, so those are the first two. What, you saw me do that? Why are you laughing so hard? Okay, number 3. Now, this is really hard. There's a joke in Tibetan, okay? Word, $100. Nga nane kine devo machu. Nga nane kibo devo machu. And you got to get every word. Nga nane kine devo machu. Yeah, good. Whew. Cancel that shopping. No money, honey. Okay. Ever since I got sick, I haven't felt well. Ever since I got sick, I haven't felt well. It's a joke. Ever since I got sick, I didn't feel well. Does it make sense? What it means is, okay, here's what the meaning is. Especially as a teacher, some days you're teaching in pain. Okay? Some days you're teaching in pain. Yoga teacher also, you know, and you just do it. That's my deep advice for ACI teacher, okay? Some days your girlfriend just left you that afternoon, or your company went bankrupt, or the doctor told you you got a big cancer in your leg or something. You don't feel well. You have a headache. You feel sick, okay? But here, totally happy, okay? Big smile. They say, Laosha, how do you feel? You're like, I feel great. How's it going? Fantastic, you know? You know, and you're like in great pain, like you have a very bad headache or you didn't sleep last night. A teacher has to get through that. A teacher has to work through that. I'll tell you something about famous people, like famous musicians or something. One of the things that makes them famous is they came to the concert. Okay? That's one of the things. To be a really famous musician or a famous actor, you have to come to the movie set, or you have to come to the concert. when you don't feel well, okay? And you don't feel like it. You feel sad, or you feel sick, and you know, okay, who was there in Guadalajara? I gave a talk, and I had said, I have to finish 10 minutes early. I think Hasa was there, I don't remember. I ran to the door, and I threw up, not like, blah, I threw up like, blah. And I was totally sick. I held it the whole talk, and I'm very cheerful, you know. And then I said, good night, I have to finish a little early. And I kind of walked fast to the door, and then right on the other side of the door, okay, it wasn't like dribble out, it was like projection, like future life karma. And, okay, so number 3, you know, if you feel healthy, if you feel like you just finished Andre's class and you feel strong and happy that it finished, and don't get too excited, okay? Don't worry, you will break something tomorrow. Okay, you'll catch something tomorrow. Don't get too excited when you're feeling good. Oh look, I lost 5 pounds. Trust me, 10 will come back. This is another 66 thing, right, JB? Every time you lose 5, 10 comes back. I don't know what it is. Okay? Don't get too excited when you're feeling good, okay? It's going to change. Accept it. Use it. Be happy. Be grateful. But don't get too attached to it, because it will change. And that's number, what are we on, 4? Number 4 is when you get sick, especially as a teacher, don't whine, don't tell people. Again, very few people care in the audience. They're there to listen to how you're going to help them. They're not there to hear about your medical condition, okay? So a good teacher, a good musician, a good movie actor, they learn to do their thing in pain, okay? When they don't feel so well, okay? There's days when you won't want to do your yoga. David Swenson, you know him? It's like there's days when you feel like a bag of wet cement. But do your practice, okay? Do your practice, okay? Ignore how you feel. Got it? That's 3 and 4. Don't get too attached to how you feel. Work through it, okay? If you cancel things because you don't feel well, you'll have to cancel everything, eventually. Okay? If you don't meditate because your legs hurt, what's going to happen 10 years from now? You think it's going to magically get younger? It will. It could. Okay, anyway. All right. Number 5. You get famous for something. You know, they write about you in Tricycle magazine. There's a beautiful article about Geshe. You can find it in the old magazine. There's a long article. He's so amazing teacher. He did the ACI courses. He understands diamond cutting. That's that picture, cutting diamond came from there. And then you feel like, wow, I'm really something. You know, boy, did I give a talk yesterday in English about Abhidharma. 3 different source languages, Sanskrit, Tibetan, and Chinese. And people clapped, boy, it must have been about 20 minutes. And so you get some little fame, okay? Now trust me, next week something bad's gonna happen, okay? And everybody will be criticizing you on the internet, the whole world. It happens, okay? They say, keep your head down if you don't want trouble. Like, don't put your head up. Dharma, head up. Like, don't become a teacher. Because the minute you become a teacher, the demons they're looking for who puts their head up. You know, who wants to do something important in this world. Then the demons pay attention to you, right? If you just stay quiet and watch TV, demons never bother you, okay? But the minute you try to do ACIP or ACI or DCI or Diamond Mountain, something will happen, okay? And don't freak out about it, okay? It's called fame or not fame. There's a word you know in English, famous, right? There's the sister word, which is infamous. Different accent. Famous, and then infamous. And it means opposite of famous. Everyone criticizes you. Everyone says you're a bad person, okay? You're gonna get both if you're an ACI teacher, okay? Just plan on it, okay? Remember the night that Geshe told you, okay? Worldly attitude number 5 and 6, okay? Geshe predicted 1 week after you get famous for your Abhidharma talk, somebody criticizes you on the internet, like big. Some newspaper tells a bad story about you, and 1 million people read it, okay? It happens like that, okay? And I'm telling you from 66. I've had both, okay? I've had both. The Congress of Mexico gave me a PhD, in the Congress. And then I've been criticized by the highest people in the world. And just let it go. What are you going to do? Quit teaching? You're going to go home and cry? You're going to give up Dharma teaching? Come on. What are you going to do? You're going to quit because someone criticized you on the internet? Okay. So get ready now. Before you become a teacher, get ready now. Worldly attitude number 5. Worldly attitude number 6. If everyone says you're a wonderful teacher, we love you, please teach us forever. If they take a vow in front of you, I will serve you forever. Don't get too excited. Just say, okay, thanks, I really appreciate it. And then next week they're going to criticize you, okay? And get used to it. Your job as a teacher is not to be famous. And it's not to be praised, okay? It's to serve people. And you can serve people who hate you. Okay? If someone criticizes you, you can still serve them. And it's kind of cool. I had a lama who said, the best way to hurt someone who doesn't like you is to serve them. They hate it. Okay? Send them money. Stuff like that. It's the most irritating thing. God, I criticized him for 2 years on the internet, and now he made a donation. I hate this guy. So if you really want to hurt your enemies, send them donations, support their projects. Okay, got it? As a ACI teacher, you will have periods in your life when you get famous. And and then there'll be periods in your life when people criticize you, online, for example. And just expect it, and don't get keep your heart steady. Keep your heart steady. I'm sick. I'm sick. I just took Andre's class. I feel like $1 million. Yeah, calm down. You're going to get sick later. Okay? Just keep your mind. Don't get too excited. Don't get too sad. Okay? Stuff's going to happen. Okay? 66. Right? What are you, can I ask? 66? Hey, give me 5. Give me 6. This is Chinese for 6. Yeah, all the smart people are 66. So just calm down, okay? Make your attitude equal, level, okay? Don't get too excited, don't get too sad, okay? About anything. I don't care what it is. All right? I have stood in the White House and the President of the United States has given me a medal. And I've been criticized by some of the highest spiritual people in the world. Let it go. Okay? Just serve people. Okay? It doesn't matter if they like you or they don't. They will still take your money. Okay? Just serve people. Okay? Got it? And that's the only way to have fun in this life. From 66, I'm telling you. Okay? Keep your mind level. Don't get too excited. It starts hailing in the summer at Diamond Mountain. Just calm down. Tomorrow will be sunny. And you'll be complaining about how dry it is. Okay, number 7 and 8. Okay, and this is similar. 5 and 6 were you get famous or you get infamous on the internet, okay, like that. 7 and 8 is people praise you or people criticize you. It's a little bit different, right? You get famous or people praise you. It's not quite the same, okay? People say, oh, you're so smart. You know, you know all this stuff. You're so smart, okay? Then next week they tell you how stupid you are, okay? And just if you're a Buddhist, keep your mind steady, okay? Keep your mind steady. Don't get all excited when they give you a PhD. And don't get all excited when they tell how much they hate you, okay? Why? Your job is to serve people. It doesn't matter what they think, okay? Serve them secretly. That's really satisfying. Okay? Serve your enemies secretly, okay? I grew up in the Christian church, and I grew up in a church called Episcopal, Church of England, and the prayer book, the 1921 prayer book, the old prayer book. Many people said it was written by Shakespeare. It's unbelievably beautiful. It's unbelievably beautiful prayer book. So I grew up with this prayer book, you know. And in the church they said, a lot of people thought it was written by Shakespeare. But it was written by somebody else. Archbishop of Canterbury, something. But and I looked him up because I was curious, because when I translated the Vajrayogini Sadhana, which is about a 2-hour ritual, I wanted to make it beautiful like that. So I got interested in him. I also sent the manuscript to Ursula Le Guin and asked her to fix it, and she refused. I told her, I will come to you, I will rent a house next to you, and I will only come over when you're convenient for you, and you help me make this into some beautiful science fiction thing, because she's the most famous science fiction writer. And she said no. And then I sent her a big raw diamond. And I said, some diamonds need cutting. And she sent it back to me. Then she died. Anyway, not because of that. Okay, they're much later. Okay, why am I talking about that?
Archbishop.
Yeah. So there's an interesting story about the author of the prayer book. It became public knowledge that you should try to be his enemy, because he believed so much in Jesus' teaching that he tried to serve his enemies first. So he will give money to his enemies, he will make them famous, he will buy them dinner. They said, if you really want to be happy in London in, I don't know, 18-something, become this guy's enemy, because he will serve you, because you're his enemy. Got it? So people attack you, people say you're a lousy ACI teacher. The best thing to do is serve them, quietly, anonymously, okay? If you serve them and they know about it, you're just trying to piss them off, come on. Okay, like serve them. People who criticize you at work, people who criticize your family, find ways to serve them, and you will never fall into these 8. You will never fall into these 8, okay? Serve people, whether they like you or not. And that's your job as an ACI teacher. Your job is service. It's not to get people to like you. And it's a hard, from 66, right, JB? Still true from 71? It's a hard mountain to climb over, okay? It takes time to learn this attitude, you know? I'm going to serve you whether you like me or not. And I'm going to serve you whether you praise me or not. And I'm going to serve you whether you pay for the class or I have to pay for the class. I paid for a lot of classes in my life, millions of dollars, okay? Just serve, okay? If they don't help, it's okay. Just serve them, that's your job. Okay, got it? And I'll tell you something. It's the most fun life there is. Just serving people who hate you is the most fun thing in the world, okay? And do I look like a sad person? It's just fun, okay? So get in the habit, okay? Serve everybody, okay? And don't worry about these 8, okay? Don't worry about these 8. You're gonna go up and down. Your bad seeds, good seeds, you have a whole mix in your bank account. Don't get so worried about it. Keep a steady mind. Okay, got it? That completes class 5. Yay, I'm on schedule.